Hey, Pete.
Hey.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see what you're packing this time.
I brought some goodies. You can do photogrammetry.
Now that's good.
So we invited technologist Pete Kelsey back to perform a final high-tech 3D photogrammetry drone scan of the entire ranch.
Well, I'm excited to have you out here. It'd be great to take you back to the mesa.
Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Photogrammetry is a process where thousands of high-definition photographs are taken of an area of interest and combined to create a detailed three-dimensional map, potentially revealing features that aren't visible to the naked eye. We want to get a 3D model of every part of the ranch to see if any anomalies appear. If something shows up, maybe it will help us determine what is behind all the UAPs and the other phenomena that we've documented here.
This looks great.
Uh-huh.
So once all the data I have collected is post-processed in a nice, neat package, I hand that to Eric, and he does the heavy lifting, and that is spending hours and hours going through this data because it's all visual. All right, I got all green lights here, spinning up. Literally, it comes down to putting eyes on the model and looking for anything interesting.
The day after Pete Kelsey conducted his photogrammetry scan of the ranch, he sent Eric all of his compiled data files for us to review.
Well, I've got only about 1 billion data points. Of course, this comes out of Pete Kelsey's recent survey work. This is a three-dimensional model. It's point cloud data. What it is individual points that have been located through a complex algorithm coming out of all these thousands of pictures that he's taken. So you take all those images, you stitch them together, and you get a three-dimensional model.
That's incredible.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I've been diving into this, and turns out there are some very interesting artifacts showing up.
Whoa,
You might,
I just saw
did you
one.
see it?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the sky.
Oh.
Right there.
Yes,
Oh, weird.
yes.
That looks like that's a whole bunch of points right there.
Oh, it is.
Well, what would cause it to do that if that's up in the air?
That's the question. Look at this structure. This phantom structure that's sticking up in the sky.
This is odd. I got to tell you,
There it is.
wow, that thing was really prominent from here. It's like it's
Yeah.
some sort of big feature.
It looks, more than 100 feet in the air.
That's nuts.
I've connected with Pete, and I've also spoken with the vendor of this software, asking, is this common? And the answer that I've gotten is no.
Really?
This is not a common thing in terrestrial surveys like this.
Are there any other areas in his survey that had this sort of artifact to them?
Yes. I want to show you something at another location that we've visited that is part of this survey.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, there
see
you
what's
go.
happening? There you go.
Right there.
So let me spin us around. I notice a couple of things here.
Well, now look at this.
And you may observe the same thing I
yeah,
have.
so line those two up, and where are they pointing?
This feature, this artifact, the largest stone that was part of the stone circle, and that prominent thing that's jutting up, further to the south.
So you have 3 points in a line.
Wow.
Interestingly and somewhat mysteriously, the anomalies to the south and to the north of the stone circle align perfectly with that large center stone in the stone circle itself. Could be a coincidence, but it sure is suggestive.
What are the odds of that?
Right. We've learned not to ignore any anomalous features in our data, even if we have no idea what to make of them.
So that, to me, seems like you've almost drawn a ray from the other anomaly through this stone to this anomaly. We've got a line being drawn here, then what is that line pointing to? What is the line there for? We need to mark these spots, because, what if this is somehow mapping an anomaly that we need to investigate?
Could Pete Kelsey have actually captured visual evidence that there really are portals on Skinwalker Ranch? And could it help explain why we see UAPs appear and then suddenly disappear?
Well, we owe it to ourselves to follow up on every data anomaly that we come across, particularly when they're as prominent as the ones we're looking at.
Eric, the data is absolutely fascinating. We need to meet with Brandon and review this and everything else we've learned this year. I think we just got to do that, follow up on this data.
Yep, let's do it.
Greetings, everyone.
Hey.
I think everyone would agree this past year has been the most productive year in history relative to the investigation at Skinwalker Ranch. We launched this phase of the investigation with former Governor Herbert. His interest and ongoing engagement with this effort has been an important part of really elevating the formality of this research and how important it is. We also have joining us today investigative journalist George Knapp, best known as the leading journalist documenting the reality of not only the ranch, but this type of phenomena.
I'd like to say, Governor, by the way, you have a really beautiful state, but it's an awfully weird state.
I think today will be a very eye-opening day and briefing for our guests.
Brandon, this next one you have yet to see because it just happened to us.
Really?
Yeah. It is so bizarre.
I think it'd be a good idea to get everyone's eyes on this.
Please.
Absolutely.
Let's do.
This is a three-dimensional model of Pete Kelsey's recent survey work. Pete scanned the entire mesa and look at this structure.
Wow. Incredible.
Wow. This looks like a solid structure in the sky.
Yes. This object, whatever it is, it's really fascinating. What are we looking at? We don't know at this point.
Well, we need to talk about the reality of what we're dealing with in this investigation. Based on all of these combined events, how do we move forward? I think everyone would agree that we move forward having a multidisciplinary, diverse approach to really tackling this problem set and taking the data that drives us in the right direction to uncover the secret of what lies on this ranch, both above and below. It appears we are triggering contact in some way, shape, or form, and it is manifesting itself above the ranch in a very profound way. We're dealing with forces, we're dealing with phenomena that redefines not only our vision of reality, but potentially even history itself.
I'm very excited about the next chapter. I think you've got momentum. Again, like Dr. Taylor is talking about, this should be a scalpeled approach. Eric, you've mentioned how we've got to be careful about what we're doing here so we don't damage the information we'll find.
Very much so. You guys have made breakthroughs on so many different bases, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
Well, thank you, Governor, for your time and attention, and thank you, George, for joining us.
Glad to be here.
I want to thank everyone at this table for your sacrifice, for your professionalism, for your talents, your expertise. We are opening new doors, new paths to explore. I look forward to the path ahead, and we'll be in touch with you regarding next steps.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
George, to meet you. Yeah.
As we wrap up this year's investigation at Skinwalker Ranch, we all feel like we're getting much closer to finding some real answers about this place. I mean, when I first came to the ranch, I'd never even seen a UAP.
We got something, hold on. Look.
What is that?
But we've witnessed and documented phenomena up in the sky.
What the hell is that in the sky?
That thing is big and spherical.
That has changed my entire outlook on what I thought was possible. Who knows what we could ultimately reveal?
Oh, my.
We owe it to ourselves and the entire world to figure out the truth behind this ranch.
It takes courage to confront these topics. I believe as we brave that territory, as we have the courage to delve deeper, both literally and figuratively, into Skinwalker Ranch, we're going to find that not only will we come to an understanding of the dark forces that we're interacting with, but also the nature of our world and our reality.